Hey everyone, it's Kristen with Can Somatics, and today I want to talk to you about what Thomas Hanna referred to as the myth of aging. Now, as a culture, we have come to believe that aging equals deterioration, pain, dysfunction, and it's an inevitable process of aging, and it doesn't have to be that way. From a somatics perspective, I would like to challenge that notion. It's going to be a little different than what we've been led to believe, but if you explore this, you'll be very, very surprised and amazed at what your brain can do when you re-tap back into your nervous system and take back control of moving the body with ease and freedom. So let's get started. So as humans, we are born to move. Every animal on the planet moves, and really humans are the only ones that really develop problems because we stop moving well. But when we're born, we start developing all these motor skills to do certain things, and we move forward into the world. We can stand up, we can move our heads, we can roll around and skip and jump and climb and have a grand time. And then what happens? Then we're told, stop moving so much. Sit down, face the blackboard, go be quiet, watch some television. You proceed through life and you continue to just sit more and move less. You may go to the gym, but if your predominant pattern is to sit and maybe get stressed and you've had accidents and injuries, your body starts to habituate less movement instead of more. And when you no longer know how to move with ease, your sensory motor cortex has lost the connection between your brain and how to move your muscles, which move your bones. So what do we call that? We call that sensory motor amnesia, and it can be changed because at one point you did know how to move with ease. Now you just need to relearn those patterns. So sensory motor amnesia, SMA, is what separates clinical somatics from all other modalities out there to help you move with ease. You might have things done to you, but sensory motor amnesia puts you in charge of fixing your pain and dysfunction. We're facilitators. We help you sense what's going on with your body, but really if you can sense it, you can change it. So your sensory motor cortex, the part of the brain that's in charge of moving your body, moving the muscles, moving the bones, and then sensing what they're doing and sensing them relax is what separates, like I said, clinical somatics from all other methods. And a perfect example of SMA, I was working with a woman and I asked her, let's work on releasing the muscles of your waist. And I had her do a little hike of the hip on one side. And when she did that, she said, that doesn't feel good. And I said, well, let's stop. Let's look and see what you sense on this side. I said, what happens now? Ideally, if this side is trying to contract, this side needs to lengthen. But it wasn't really doing that with her. So she had to tap in, she had to sense, make the muscles do something on this side. So she sensed this lengthening. I said, sense it lengthen, sense the hip drop into the stool, and look what's happening on the other side. And it didn't hurt her at all. So it wasn't so much that her pain was actually originating on this side, it was because this side of her body was so contracted. And this could be from a multiple of reasons. It could be that she had had some surgery and been kind of protective. Maybe she had sprained an ankle and walked funny for a while. Maybe she had held her baby on this hip for an extended period of time when it was growing up. But that hip had learned how to stay contracted to the point where the brain, the sensory motor cortex, didn't know how to let it go. So when she learns that, and when the brain realizes, oh, I can let go of this, then everything becomes more equal balance and free and relaxed when it doesn't need to be contracted. So that's the big difference. SMA is addressed and it can change a whole lot of things. So far, I've just been talking about how somatics can help people get out of pain and move with ease and move more efficiently. But what else could somatics do for our health that we think are just inevitable health conditions that we develop as we age? Let's think about it. So let's use that red light startle reflex posture that people can get themselves stuck in as we get older. We're rounded in. What would that do to your breathing? You'd be compressing down on your diaphragm instead of having this nice and open, so your breath would not be able to completely fill up into your lungs. You'd be more shallow breathing. And what is shallow breathing associated with? Stress and anxiety. And then if you're not breathing fully, you're not getting enough oxygen up to your brain. So maybe you think, gosh, as I get older, I can't remember things as well. I have brain fog, but maybe it's just because your diaphragm is not able to function as well as it could. What would this posture do to our digestion? Our necks and throats are going to constrict, so we might have a harder time swallowing. our stomachs and our esophagus are pressing in on each other versus having some open space for the food to go into the stomach. Moving down into the intestines, if your intestines are being squished, they're not going to be able to do their job. They are muscles as well, and they need to be free to help with digestion and elimination, so you might be constipated. Moving further down the chain in the body, we're talking about the pelvic floor. What would this posture do to the pelvis? The tailbone is going to curl under and come closer to the pubic bone, which is going to affect the muscles of your pelvic floor, which can impact impotence, incontinence, and sexual health. So I imagine by now some of you are thinking, wow, this sounds cool. Where do I sign up? I want to learn more. And some people might be like, I don't know about that. That's not what I've been told. But that's what somatics is all about. It's about learning how you function. And you can take back a lot more control of your life if you can tap into your brain and nervous system. It's safe, it's enjoyable, it's gentle, and what would it hurt to explore it? So I encourage you to learn more about yourself from an internal perspective. So thanks for tuning in. I could go on and on, but I will stop here for now. I think this stuff is pretty phenomenal. And I had a huge change in my life after I got hit by a car, and I was deteriorating to the point where I could barely even walk. And now I am probably feeling, I know it sounds cliche, but I feel younger now than I did 20 or 30 years ago. My body functions better. I don't have to stretch. I don't have to foam roll. I just feel a lot better in my body, and it's changed the way I relate to the world. So if you'd like to learn more, check it out. Take care.